A simple glance, a quiet smile, and suddenly, the Heartland fanbase is buzzing with questions no one expected to ask this soon. Is Amy really ready to love again? And is Nathan the one she'll say yes to? The whispers started small, just subtle moments between them on screen, but now, the possibility of a wedding is no longer just speculation. Season 19 may be holding one of the biggest emotional shifts the show has ever seen. Could Amy be walking down the aisle again? When Season 19 of Heartland began, fans were ready for emotional healing, new adventures, and quiet strength from Amy Fleming. What they didn't expect, however, was the steady presence of Nathan, whose role was initially dismissed as temporary. But slowly and almost imperceptibly, he became more than just a background figure. He became a listener, a friend, and perhaps something more. Nathan arrived with no dramatic entrance, no grand gestures, just quiet confidence, a kind voice, and a deep understanding of horses and people. His connection with Amy grew naturally, scene by scene. First, it was shared concern over a rescued horse. Then, casual conversations turned into late-night talks at the barn. By the time episode 5 aired, something had clearly changed. There was a softness in Amy's gaze, a hesitation in her step, a warmth that hadn't been there in years. Many viewers struggled with this shift. For a long time, Amy and Ty were the unshakable foundation of Heartland's emotional story. Ty's death left a void so deep, it felt impossible to imagine anyone else beside her. But life, just like the prairie, keeps moving. And Amy, who once believed she could never love again, has started to rediscover the small joys that come with connection. Nathan, for his part, never pushed. He never overstepped. Instead, he offered support in quiet ways. He listened when Amy needed to talk. He respected her boundaries. He helped Lindy with her pony, and Jack with a tough horse. It wasn't about winning Amy's heart. It was about being there, being present. And slowly, his consistency built something that began to look very much like trust. In episode 7, a single line changed everything. While watching Lindy ride, Nathan turned to Amy and said, "You've built a beautiful life here. I hope there's room in it for someone else. Someday." It wasn't a proposal. It wasn't even a confession. But it was honest, vulnerable, and it marked the beginning of what many now believe is the slow unfolding of a love story that could lead to marriage. But is Amy truly ready? That's the question weighing on everyone's minds. Her journey through grief wasn't a short one. The loss of Ty reshaped her completely. And even now, every choice she makes carries the weight of the past. To consider marriage again is not just about love. It's about honoring what came before and choosing to live fully in the present. Fans are divided. Some believe Nathan is a breath of fresh air, a steadying force that brings peace to Amy's life. Others argue that it's too soon, that Ty's memory deserves more time before a new chapter begins. But no matter where you stand, one thing is clear. The writers of Heartland are not rushing anything. Every interaction between Amy and Nathan has been slow, measured, and rooted in emotional truth. What makes this potential romance so compelling is that it's not based on passion or drama. It's built on respect, shared values, and the quiet comfort of companionship. And that's what Heartland has always been about, not grand declarations, but the quiet power of love that grows in stillness. As episode 9 nears, fans are starting to notice small hints. A brief mention of the future, a question from Jack about second chances, a scene where Lou teases Amy about getting serious. All of it points to one possibility: a proposal could be on the horizon. But before that can happen, Amy must face the biggest question of all. Can she let go of the past without forgetting it? Can she say yes to something new while still holding onto the memory of what she's lost? And perhaps most importantly, does Nathan truly understand the weight of the promise he's about to make? The answer lies ahead in season 19, and if the emotional tone of this season so far is any indication, we're in for a journey that's not just about romance, but about healing, legacy, and what it means to truly move forward without losing your roots. While fans are quietly wondering whether Amy is opening her heart again, there's another important layer beneath the surface. How does the Heartland family feel about Nathan? Because in this ranch, love doesn't happen in isolation. It touches everyone. And with Amy's past still so present, it's no surprise that Jack and Lou are both watching her budding closeness with Nathan with cautious eyes. Jack Bartlett, the heart and backbone of Heartland, has never been quick to trust strangers, especially when it comes to Amy. He raised her. He held her through the hardest moments of her life. He watched her fall in love with Ty, watched her break when he was gone. Jack doesn't say much, but when he does, it matters. And his quiet stares toward Nathan haven't gone unnoticed. In episode 6, there's a moment where Jack and Nathan talk while fixing a broken fence. It's subtle, casual even, but Jack's words are sharp under their surface. "People don't stick around this place unless their heart's in it," he says. Nathan responds with a simple nod, but Jack's look lingers. It's clear he's still measuring the man, not just by his words, but by his patience, his actions, and his respect for Amy's space. This is Jack's way. He doesn't confront, he observes, he watches for consistency. And so far, Nathan has passed every quiet test. He's shown up on time. He's taken care of the horses with care. He's never once tried to take charge or overshadow Amy's role on the ranch. If anything, he's done the opposite. He's supported her from behind the scenes, proving that he's there not for control, but for companionship. Still, Jack's memories of Ty run deep. Ty wasn't just Amy's husband, he was Jack's grandson-in-law, a man who earned Jack's respect through hard work and loyalty. And for Jack, honoring Ty's memory is non-negotiable. So any new man entering Amy's life isn't just stepping into a relationship, he's stepping into a legacy. Lou, on the other hand, has a very different approach. As Amy's sister, her protective instincts come from a place of love, but they often arrive wrapped in concern, questions, and sometimes confrontation. In episode 8, Lou casually asks Amy, "So, is Nathan just a ranch hand to you?" Amy smiles, brushing it off, but her silence after the question speaks volumes. Lou is the kind of person who plans, who protects, and who needs answers. Her life has always been full of structure and schedules, and when it comes to Amy, she worries that emotions may cloud judgment. She doesn't doubt Amy's strength, she's seen it firsthand, but she does wonder whether her sister is truly ready to love again, or simply longing for connection in a quiet season of her life. Still, even Lou is beginning to soften. In episode 10, when she watches Nathan help Lindy mount her pony with gentle hands and a warm smile, something in her expression changes. She doesn't say a word, but her eyes seem to accept the possibility that maybe, just maybe, this man isn't trying to replace Ty. He's simply trying to be there, in whatever way Amy allows. As for Lisa, Tim, and the rest of the extended family, their opinions remain quietly curious. Tim, always quick to speak his mind, surprisingly hasn't voiced much. Maybe he's learning restraint, or maybe he sees something in Nathan that reminds him of himself. A man with a past, trying to make something good in the present. The question that rises here isn't just whether Amy and Nathan are ready for marriage, it's whether the family is ready to welcome a new chapter. Because in Heartland, every relationship affects the whole. And while no one would ever expect the family to forget Ty, they also know that Amy deserves a full life, one filled with new beginnings, as long as they're built with respect and care. That's why Nathan's journey isn't just about winning Amy's heart. It's about earning the trust of the people who love her most. Still, the air around the ranch is filled with uncertainty. Small glances, hesitant smiles, conversations left unfinished. The writers are planting seeds, and it's up to the audience to watch them grow. Could these seeds lead to a proposal, a quiet wedding under the prairie sun, or will something from Nathan's past disrupt the path before it even begins? There's another whisper floating through fan circles now. Nathan may be hiding something that could change how everyone sees him. But until that's confirmed, the story remains open. And the emotional weight of Amy's next choice grows heavier with each passing episode. What's clear is this: the question of love in season 19 is not just about Amy's feelings, it's about legacy, family, and whether the people she loves are ready to accept the man who may stand beside her in the years to come. As the days pass at Heartland Ranch, the tension isn't loud or chaotic. It's subtle, like a shift in the wind. Fans who pay close attention know the writers of Heartland never shout a story. They whisper it. They let it unfold like a sunrise, slow and beautiful, until suddenly it's there. undeniable. And now, that same quiet unfolding seems to be pointing in one direction. A proposal may be closer than anyone expected. It started with the smallest things. A lingering look between Amy and Nathan at the end of a ride. A scene where Jack glances at them with a knowing expression. But the real stir began after episode 11, when fans spotted something nearly hidden, a ring box, barely visible in the background of a barn shelf, near Nathan's saddlebag. For some, it was just a coincidence, a forgotten prop. But for longtime Heartland watchers, who followed every detail from Marion's horse accident to Ty's final ride, it was anything but random. That small box might just be the first quiet sign of Nathan's intention. And yet, Nathan hasn't said a word. Why? Because he knows who Amy is. He knows that she isn't someone who can be rushed, that her heart is a landscape marked by loss and strength. If he's planning something, he's waiting for the right moment. Not for himself, but for her. Because a proposal isn't about the words. It's about timing. And Amy's life has taught her one lesson above all. Timing changes everything. In episode 12, there's a moment that caught everyone off guard. Amy and Nathan are talking outside the barn after a long day, and he mentions a wedding he once went to in Hudson. It seems like small talk, but then he says, "Some people don't need a big crowd or a church to know what love feels like. They just know." Amy doesn't respond with words, just a long, thoughtful silence. That's what makes season 19 so emotionally rich. It's not about declarations, it's about the weight of unspoken feelings. It's about Amy standing in the same barn where she once kissed Ty, now wondering if it's okay to build new memories in the same space. The whispers of a proposal grow louder with each episode, not because Nathan is showing off, but because everything about him suggests readiness. He's settled, he's steady, and perhaps most importantly, he doesn't try to erase Amy's past. He honors it. In one emotional moment, he finds an old photo of Ty and Amy and doesn't look away. Instead, he quietly hands it back to her and says, "He was lucky. You loved him deeply." That sentence, so simple, moved fans to tears. Because Nathan isn't trying to be Ty. He's trying to stand beside Amy in whatever way she allows. And that kind of humility is rare. But even with all these signs, the road to a wedding is far from clear. Amy's heart is still cautious. She still pauses when Nathan brushes her hand. She still looks out over the fields as if searching for something only she can see. Her love for Ty didn't disappear. It simply shifted into something softer, something sacred. And that kind of love doesn't compete. It simply coexists. What fans are truly asking now isn't will he propose, but will she say yes if he does? That's where the emotional weight lives, in the quiet struggle inside Amy. She's no longer the young girl who fell in love under the stars. She's a woman who's lived through heartbreak, motherhood, and deep self-growth. And her choice to accept a new future must come not from loneliness, but from peace. There's another twist, though, one that's starting to stir tension in the background. What if Nathan has his own hesitations? He may be ready to ask, but is he truly ready for what comes after? Loving Amy means stepping into a life that has been shaped by another man's memory. It means becoming a father figure to Lindy. It means understanding that sometimes Amy may grieve out of nowhere, that her strength comes with scars, and that her love, if she gives it again, will be both deep and cautious. And then there's the matter of timing within the season. With only a few episodes left, fans are beginning to suspect that if a proposal comes, it may not be in the spotlight. It may come quietly. A scene with no music, no big build-up, just a ring, a question, and a long pause from Amy before she answers. Because that's how Heartland works. It doesn't need flash to make an impact. It only needs truth. And this season, the truth is that love, true love, isn't about replacing what was lost. It's about recognizing what remains and choosing to open the heart again. So what's next? Will Nathan kneel down in the field behind the barn, the same place where Ty once held Amy's hand? Will Lindy stumble upon the ring box by accident and force a conversation too soon? Or will the season end with a question left hanging in the air, a promise unspoken but deeply felt? One thing is clear: the wedding buzz is no longer just fan fiction. It's real, and it's building towards something powerful, something life-changing, the kind of decision that will not only shape Amy's future, but the future of Heartland itself. Every love story in Heartland is about more than just two people. It's about the family it touches, the land it grows on, and the hearts it tests. And if there's anyone who stands at the heart of Amy's world now, it's her daughter, Lindy. To Amy, the idea of moving forward in love has never just been about her. It's always been about what that choice means for her child. Lindy may still be young, but children carry silent wisdom. They pick up on changes, they hear what isn't said. And lately, Lindy has begun to notice Nathan's presence in more personal ways. He reads to her at night when Amy is busy. He lifts her up on the horse not with force, but with gentle care. He doesn't push her to like him, but he's there, steady as the barn walls. And Lindy, in her soft, childlike way, has started responding with trust. She laughs when he makes her silly toys from horseshoes. She draws him next to her in crayon sketches. In one quietly touching moment, Amy finds a picture on the kitchen table. Lindy has drawn her family, herself, Amy, and beside them, Nathan. It catches Amy off guard, not because she's shocked, but because a child's heart always tells the truth. And in that moment, Amy realizes what Lindy sees isn't a new man. It's safety. But safety for a child and comfort for a mother aren't always the same thing. Amy knows all too well that if she opens the door to Nathan, she also risks opening the door to change. A different home dynamic, new expectations, and the haunting question: is it fair to Lindy to bring another man into her life if there's even a shadow of doubt? This is where the emotional tension rises, because while Lindy seems to be slowly embracing Nathan, another voice emerges from the edges of the story: Georgie. Now almost grown and fiercely independent, Georgie returns in episode 13 with her usual energy and edge. She's been away training, growing, chasing her riding dreams. But the moment she steps back onto the ranch, she feels it. Something has changed. Her relationship with Amy has always been close. And though Amy isn't her biological mother, the bond they share has been real, deep, and irreplaceable. Georgie doesn't react with anger, but her silence is telling. When she sees Nathan for the first time, her greeting is brief. Not cold, but cautious. And Amy, perceptive as always, notices. Later that evening, Georgie gently asks, "Are you happy, Amy?" The question comes not with judgment, but with love, with concern, because Georgie has watched Amy suffer, heal, and rise again, and she wants to be sure that whatever's happening now isn't a temporary patch for an old wound. Amy responds with honesty. She admits that she's confused, that Nathan has been kind, that he listens, that he helps without asking for anything. But the hesitation in her voice is what Georgie hears most, because hesitation in matters of the heart is not something Amy shows often. It's here that the emotional struggle becomes layered. Amy isn't just choosing a partner, she's choosing a new direction, one that affects the two girls who look up to her, one that could reshape the family. And in a show like Heartland, family isn't just blood. It's love, shared history, and emotional safety. Georgie may be protective, but it's not because she resents Nathan. It's because she respects the memory of Ty and the home he helped create. Her concerns reflect a deeper question that many fans are now asking: is it too soon, or is it finally time? Meanwhile, Lisa, who has always served as a voice of wisdom and grace, offers Amy a quiet moment of guidance in episode 14. They sit by the fire, and Lisa simply says, "Love after loss doesn't mean letting go. It means choosing to live fully again." Amy doesn't reply, but the tears in her eyes show that the words landed. As for Tim, his reaction remains uncertain. Though he's grown more thoughtful over the years, he still tends to react with fire before clarity. In episode 15, a sudden outburst hints at unresolved emotions. "You're really thinking of marrying again?" he blurts at Amy, caught off guard by the rumors. But his anger isn't aimed at Nathan. It's rooted in fear. Fear that Amy might get hurt, that Lindy might struggle, that something too fast could lead to regret. And that's the emotional thread weaving through every character's reaction. Not rejection, but concern. Because they've all walked through the valley of grief together. And now, as the light breaks again, they're making sure the next steps are grounded in truth, not just hope. The community around Heartland also begins to notice. Questions whisper through the Hudson Cafe. People wonder whether a wedding is on the horizon. Some smile with support. Others raise eyebrows. And yet, none of it truly matters. Because Amy's journey has never been about pleasing others. It's been about honoring her past while building her future. And that future is inching closer. Each episode inches the tension forward. The silence, the stares, the moments where Amy touches the ring box when no one is watching, the way Lindy reaches for Nathan's hand without thinking, the way Georgie, even through her hesitation, begins to soften, perhaps realizing that Nathan isn't taking anything away. He's simply offering to stand beside them. Now, with only a few episodes left, the question becomes louder. Will Amy take the step? Will her family accept it? The stage is set for something deeply emotional, possibly life-altering. A proposal may come quietly in the shadows of the barn, or it may wait until the season's final breath. But either way, the people who love Amy most are watching, hoping, and gently guarding her path. Because in Heartland, love isn't just a story, it's a legacy. And this legacy is about to turn a new page. By now, the buzz around Amy and Nathan has outgrown the quiet corners of the ranch. What started as subtle glances and emotional pauses has become the center of whispers across Hudson. In the feed store, in Maggie's cafe, even during Sunday rides, people are talking. And while most of them mean well, even well-meaning voices can stir up pressure that the heart isn't ready for. Amy never wanted her personal life to become public discussion. She's always been private, guarding her emotions like a rider guards a nervous horse, gently, with care. But life in Hudson is close-knit, and the moment you step into a possible new chapter, the world notices, and comments, and assumes. The speculation grows bolder. Is there a date? Will it be at the ranch? Has she finally let go of Ty? That last question cuts the deepest, because for Amy, letting go isn't part of the story. Her love for Ty is woven into the land, into the horses, into Lindy's very smile. And it doesn't vanish just because another hand is reaching for hers. It simply settles into something quieter, something sacred. But not everyone understands that. And now, as the pressure builds, Amy starts to feel a familiar weight on her chest, the kind of weight she hasn't carried since the early days of her grief. Nathan sees it too, the way her shoulders tighten when strangers bring up the word wedding, the way she avoids eye contact when someone asks if she's ready for a new future. And though he says nothing, his silence becomes its own kind of burden, because he has a secret. It's not scandalous, it's not dramatic, but it's enough to create a storm in Amy's heart. In episode 16, during a quiet walk near the pond, Nathan reveals something from his past, a former fiancé. Amy listens quietly, but her eyes show the shift. Not because she's jealous, but because she suddenly realizes she doesn't know everything about him. Nathan had once come close to marrying someone else, and the engagement ended in heartbreak, not by betrayal, but by fear. Fear of rushing, fear of losing himself in someone else's life. Now that fear is back, for both of them. Amy begins to question everything, not just Nathan's past, but her own readiness. What if she's not strong enough to do this again? What if the proposal comes and she says yes, and regrets it? What if she says no, and loses something beautiful? That internal battle is what makes Heartland's storytelling so powerful. The drama doesn't come from loud arguments or shocking betrayals. It comes from quiet doubts that echo loudly inside the soul. The pressure builds when Lou hears about Nathan's past. Protective as ever, she confronts him. Not aggressively, but firmly. "Are you here for Amy?" she asks. "Or are you here to fix something in yourself?" Nathan doesn't get angry. He simply replies, "Can it be both?" That line stays with Lou, and with fans, because maybe that's what love really is, a way to heal together, even when you're still broken in places. Still, Amy withdraws after the conversation, not because she wants to run, but because she needs clarity. She rides alone, spends more time with Spartan, sleeps less, thinks more, She watches Lindy sleep and wonders what kind of future she wants for her daughter. One of safety and solitude? Or one of shared warmth, even if it comes with risk? And then, just when things seem to be settling, the twist arrives. A letter. It shows up in episode 17, tucked between old papers in a box Amy had packed away years ago. It's addressed to her, from Ty. Not a new letter, an old one, unread, written during one of their early separations when Ty had gone away to find himself. Amy opens it, and the words hit like a storm. In the letter, Ty speaks of his deep love, his regrets, his hope that if anything ever happened to him, Amy would someday find joy again, that she wouldn't close the door to love, that she'd ride again and laugh again and maybe even open her heart because she deserved it. Tears fall freely, not from pain, but from understanding. In his own way, Ty had given her permission to live again, and somehow, all this time later, it arrives just when she needs it the most. But the twist isn't just emotional. The final scene is not about vows or proposals. It's about peace. Amy, Nathan, Lindy, and the Heartland family gathered around the table, sharing laughter, food, and the unspoken promise that no matter how much life changes, they'll always have each other. And that is Heartland, a show about healing, resilience, and love that never truly says goodbye. So, what do you think? Do you believe Amy made the right choice? Is this the love she deserves after all she's been through? Or is Ty's memory too sacred to move past? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts, your hopes, and your emotions as we all continue this incredible journey together. And if you felt moved by this story, if Heartland still brings warmth to your heart after all these seasons, please like this video, share it with a fellow fan, and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt updates. This isn't just a show, it's a story that lives on in every viewer's heart. And as season 19 comes to a close, we're all part of that story. Until next time, stay grounded, stay hopeful, and never stop believing in love. So here we are, at the edge of something new. Season 19 of Heartland has taken us through emotions we thought we'd buried long ago. It brought back memories of Ty and Amy's love, the kind of love that doesn't fade, even with time. It reminded us how loss can reshape our hearts, but also how love, in its quietest forms, can return when we least expect it. Amy's journey hasn't just been about finding a partner again. It's been about rediscovering who she is. A woman who has faced the deepest pain and still stood tall. A mother raising her child with strength, warmth, and grace. And now, a person brave enough to open her heart again, knowing how much it once cost her. That takes courage. And maybe that's what Heartland has always taught us, that life doesn't always give you what you want, but it often gives you what you need, even if it arrives through heartbreak. Nathan may never be Ty. He's not meant to be. He's his own man, with his own scars, his own patience, his own love. And Amy is not looking to replace her past. She's simply choosing to honor it, while still saying yes to the present. That's not betrayal. That's healing. And for fans who've grown up with this show, for those who've watched Jack grow wiser, Lou grow stronger, and Georgie grow up, it's not just Amy's decision we're watching, it's the passing of time. It's the acceptance that seasons change and stories evolve, but don't mistake change for forgetting. Amy will always carry Ty, just like Heartland will always carry the memories we've lived with over 19 beautiful seasons. This show has never relied on big twists or flashy drama. Its magic lies in the small, tender moments. A shared ride through the pasture, a quiet talk on the porch, a child's laughter echoing through the barn. These are the scenes that stay with us. These are the reasons we keep coming back. And now with Amy taking this gentle step forward, we're reminded of something powerful. It's okay to begin again, even if your heart still trembles, even if your hands still shake. Because new beginnings don't erase the past, they simply grow beside it. So, what's next for Amy? For Nathan? For Lindy? And could season 20 be the final chapter of this unforgettable journey? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, Heartland still knows exactly who it is. A story about healing, about family, about holding on and letting go. And as we close this chapter of Season 19, we want to hear from you. What moment touched your heart the most? Do you believe Amy is truly ready for this new path? Do you think Ty would be proud of the woman she's become? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's grieve together, hope together, heal together. If this story stirred something in you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more emotional journeys, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another update from the world of Heartland. Because this isn't just a show, it's a legacy. And you are part of it. Thank you for watching, thank you for feeling, and thank you for believing in second chances. Until next time, keep your heart open and never stop riding forward.